Here we go. Gonna listen to an audiobook while we do this.
Enviable things. Now it's your turn to pick. How to get George Bush Sr. or the CEO of Google on the phone.
So I'm stuck with an ethical dilemma. It is 7:50 at night. I have eaten, so that's one good thing. But all this stuff is on the ground. It does flood down here. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., it's gonna rain. So that means I have to pick up anything that I don't want to get rained on from the ground before tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna be doing this tonight, and that's my night. I'm gonna take this a little bit differently. I'm gonna go ahead and group things that I know I want to put together. So like my scrap materials and my plumbing stuff, the things that are just basic items, just like raw materials, I'm gonna shove those into the same box and place those off to the side. The smaller things, I'm gonna figure out what I wanna do on a grander scale since I know what I have now. And I'm gonna also place those off to the side. So intentionally, I'm gonna be putting a couple things off to the side with the intention of figuring out a storage system later. So you can see some failed projects here. The very first shelf, the cat water fountain, and the smaller version of the cat water fountain. Here's just a bunch of instruction manuals that I stopped referencing because they're not useful. Out here are some specialty tools that I don't really use. So bike stuff that I don't use anymore because I don't have a bike, and a bunch of orthotic stuff that Nicole uses. This is all the hanging stuff, so stuff to hang various things. Duct tape, some actual duct tape, and just some rigging tape just to hold things up. For mounting purposes, a couple of specialty scissors, and a bunch of tools that I don't use, an ice pick. That's good for murdering somebody. A bunch of tools that I don't actually know what the purpose is of those. Here's all of my painting and epoxy supplies, primer and cement. Some pipe cement, there you go. A couple of different glues that I have going on, some silicone, some sealant, a variety of paints that are all somewhat used, and epoxies, a bunch of paintbrushes, a ton of paintbrushes. Smaller tools, so you have screwdrivers, nails, washers, bolts, anything of that nature in this area. You got a bunch of different hex wrenches. Nicole needed a crap ton, so we got a crap ton. Screwdriver flathead sets, as well as this really cool thing, which I have yet to use, pocket hole jig kit, which I'm super excited to use, but I have to get into bigger woodworkings and furniture to get to use it. A crap ton of rulers, so anything that requires a measurement can probably be figured out with these things. A couple sockets. I had a crap ton of drill bits that just were sitting around. So here are all of those drill bits. It's kind of embarrassing how unorganized those are. Zip ties, of course, everybody needs zip ties. One cable here. I think the container for this is in my car. I'm pretty sure. Detail brushes, which are very, very useful. Crap ton of clamps. I want to actually get a bunch more clamps whenever we have a project that needs some more, because I never feel comfortable with the amount of clamps I have. A few different types of hammers and mallet, screwdrivers and flatheads, a hot glue gun, and a knife sharpener. So this is actually pretty useful. Put all the PPE out here. So a bunch of gloves and hats, safety glasses, earplugs, things of that nature. The bolt rounders, the crescent wrenches, the grips, all that fun stuff. These guys actually don't fit here. Also does not live here. This lives down here. There you go. And measurement tool. This one's also pretty cool. It has a little laser. There it is. That's super cool. Yeah. But this goes here. So we have the sandpaper, sand discs. Tons of sand discs. Here, just more sanding stuff. So all this pile is just dedicated to sanding. Then you have your disc sander, a couple of stacks of sandpaper that go inside that already. In here, we just have a jigsaw. Everybody needs one. So that's where that one lives right now. Got this handy bag that goes in. This box goes with the drill. I need a better way of storing my drill for sure. So storing my drill is probably high up there on priority as far as storage items. In addition to figuring out like a bin for all of these smaller items, I need to figure out a way to get my drill on the wall. Whether that's just like 2 bolts drilled into it, or if we mount on full-on plates, I think it'd be very useful to get my drill on the wall and out of this box, as well as setting up like an outlet on this side of the room. Right now, the only outlets we have are by the washer and dryer. I mean, that's great for being by the washer and dryer, but I have no outlets on this wall at all, anywhere. So I need to get some, and maybe we'll take them from upstairs. Also, this is another drill that I don't think the battery works on anymore. So I'm gonna try the battery. I'm gonna see if it still functions. If not, I'll part this out and take the motor out of it. But that's the plan for that guy right now. This Dremel doesn't work, or I guess I should say it doesn't charge anymore, and it doesn't hold the charge. So I need another Dremel that plugs in. Heat gun, really awesome, really cool, useful, especially when you're doing electrical work. Stapler, really awesome, really cool. I'll put this with the smaller tools because I have the staples here, right here. Put my staples right next to it. Skill saw, or circular saw, I should say, as well as my Kreg straight cut. Not sure what the proper name is for that, but I'll leave a link in the description. This really awesome light that I was using while I was doing work outside in the dark. Different pipes are required for the water fountain project, so that's all here, as well as pieces of the pumps that I took apart whenever I was shoving the pump inside the water fountain in order to get the pump in there. It still pumps the exact same amount of fluid, same amount of time, and goes up the same amount. So it's really cool that I could make it smaller to be able to fit inside of there. The other pump, I believe, was with the other fountain, which is in file 13. So moving on, these particle board scraps came from when we were doing the scratching post project. So in the scratching post project, we had to set up a base. The base was made out of particle board, and it was just covered up in these rugs, which I still have a completely unrolled section of rug, and I still have a bunch of rug left. So we might make an ultra tall scratching post. That might be fun. These two boards here, these are perfectly good boards that I plan on using for 2 additional shelves. So that's pretty much everything that we have out here. Alright, this is how I'm going to leave it for tonight. So going through my head, I'm thinking each item, each section, I want to figure out how I want to store it. That's pretty much the next stage of this rehab. Other than cleaning, but I have to put all the things in their proper order, in their proper place, or at least have a place for them to go when they're done. So I have to figure out what I want to do storage-wise. For all of this equipment. So I'm going to look into a couple different things, do some research on that, figure out what I want to do to store all of these items, and we'll go from there pretty much. But that's a shop tour pretty much in a nutshell. So I hope you enjoyed this shop tour, and if you did enjoy it, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit subscribe to see how this all shakes out. There's going to be a lot of sorting, figuring out how all this works together, and figuring out where I'm going to be placing all these items. So if you're interested in seeing that, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell in order to get all of the updates, and we will see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.
It's okay, everyone's safe. There's no way the man in that very pixelated video is revolving the sounds of the 70s hero.
Hello.